guys are owners of the horse. Had high expectations for him at the beginning of the year. He gets injured. Did you think that you were going to get him back here and get him to this race?
Hey, anytime you hit the Breeders' Cup, you know you're lucky. So we're glad to be here, and hopefully he shows up tomorrow.
What about this horse? Just the connection. You were a friend of Brad McKinsie's, I
Right.
understand, and
Yeah.
so is there still an emotional attachment with
Brad was one of the greatest guys in racing, and it was just unfortunate that he drew the bad card, but here it is 15 months later, and to have a horse named after him of the caliber, and Bobby's always been high on this horse, so now the day he's got the spotlight, so hopefully he shows he's worthy of it.
What did you guys? This guy doesn't send horses to races that he's not going to show up well in, but what were your thoughts when he went to the Pennsylvania Derby after a long layoff and going out and running in a Grade 1 right away?
Well, when Bobby puts a horse on the plane, he's ready to run, and he's always been high on this horse, and like I said, I think he's going to show well tomorrow.
It's always a tricky kind of thing to name a horse after a person, especially somebody who you care for as much as you did with him.
Yeah.
And did you guys have a good feeling that this was the right one to name?
Bobby called me up and he said, "We got a runner." He said, "You need a good name." So we got a good name, and that's where McKinzie came from.
For people that didn't know Brad McKinzie, just could you talk about him and as a person, and also what he did for racing?
Oh, Brad, Brad was, his blood was racing, and he, like I said, he was just a gentle giant, smarter than hell, always had a smile on his face, and he lived for the people at the racetrack. I mean, probably wasn't for Brad and Doc Allred, California would probably shut down without the workman's comp issue. And that was a major issue that Brad and Doc worked out, and they did it in the quarter horse business and brought it over to the thoroughbreds. And I don't know what would happen in California if it wasn't for those guys. Bobby and Brad have been inseparable forever. And I got to know Brad through Bobby, and we did a lot of business together on different things. And but Brad was always part of the traveling squad. He got some of that beer money on those horses back in the old days.
Well, how do you just feel about McKenzie's chances? I mean, obviously he's one of the favorites, well respected, but do you have any sort of sense in this race when you look at the competition?
Nah, I mean, it's an even race. But on the other hand, if he's as good as what we think he is, he should be there. I mean, but you never know going a mile and a quarter. Usually you're having this conversation in May and not November. So now we'll just find out if he can do it. He showed he could run off a layoff. He showed he could run off an airplane. Now we're going to find out if he can go a mile and a quarter.